All right, everybody, welcome to a new episode of Lunar Radio. I'm your host, Jay Brony,
And I'm here with a sense of deja vu, Daylight Darkle.
and today we're doing a double episode
What?
talking about 2 episodes of Ponies and a handful of news stories.
How can you say it's a handful when these new stories don't have any substance?
But they're a handful.
How do you define a handful?
I don't know, like something you can hold in your hand without it falling out.
I can hold a monitor in my hand without it falling out. Is monitor a handful?
Sure.
But it's so big.
So big.
So big.
So big. So, instead of complaining about how big our monitors are, why don't we talk about some pony to watch over me?
What pony would you like to watch over you?
Oh, I know it's not Applejack.
Oh no!
Oh, snap.
But seriously, which one?
I think Twilight would be cool. She was
I
going to
think
watch
that'd be
over me.
worse than Applejack.
You think?
I think.
She'd be too busy trying to look up in the books, trying to, to keep on top of me. Just run
Right.
around, right?
And she'd be too neurotic, even more so than Applejack, but spoilers.
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 So as the episode opens, we see Apple Bloom outside a door with obviously Applejack, Granny Smith, and Big Mac talking inside. You can hear their distinct voices. She's there with the rest of the Cutie Mark Crusaders, and it seems like they might be deciding something important about something not necessarily important. Well, maybe important about Apple Bloom's future. But the rest of the Cutie Mark Crusaders tell us that they'll be there for her no matter what. It's great to have friends. Door opens up, and they come out to reveal that they've made the decision that Apple Bloom is old enough to stay home alone and do chores. She accepts this decision and celebrates around the corner with the rest of the Cutie Mark Crusaders. After a fancy title screen, the same one we've had for 3 seasons now, Applejack reminds Apple Bloom that it's a big responsibility to stay home and do all the chores, because you're not just getting to stay home and, do nothing. You gotta do chores. Apple Bloom overall is just happy that they trust her enough to do said chores a home alone.
Mm-hmm.
Granny Smith is on her way to visit relatives, and we find out that Applejack and Big Mac are going out to make deliveries. Supposedly, the routes are pretty hard and dangerous, and nobody else can handle them. Supposedly, foreshadowing. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Applejack takes her job as being Apple Bloom's big sister pretty seriously, and she makes a helpful list. Apple Bloom again reminds everyone that they made this choice because that they trust her and not to be worried. Apple Bloom helps them on their way, and she's finally home alone!
Yay!
Should mean she can listen to music whenever she wants and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We switch back to Applejack, and she's extremely worried while she's on the trail with Big Mac. And she says, go on ahead. I'm going to go back and check on her one last time. Even though Big Mac reassured her that she'd be fine. And she even starts to remember stuff that she forgot to put on the list. Like if she needs a spoon, that she'll have to open the drawer to get the spoon. Nice. So back on the farm, Apple Bloom is finishing up the list of 170 some things that Applejack gave her to do in a matter of 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, it wasn't very hard, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Did she ever figure out how to open up the drawer?
I don't know. They never show her opening or closing the drawer, so... She then goes through a spree of saying she's in charge, she can do whatever she wants, listen to music, stand on the kitchen table, talking to herself, whatever. And then AJ busts back through the door and scares Apple Bloom off of falling off the table, and it causes a mess. At this point, Applejack becomes super neurotic and worried that she's gonna hurt herself because she made a mess after falling off the table. And she's gonna stay and watch over Apple Bloom. Pie delivery be damned.
Screw profitable business decisions.
That's right. Who needs them?
No one. You gotta watch over sisters, man. The struggle is real.
Apple Bloom then goes on a quest to prove that she's fine on her own, but she ends up making another mess, including getting spaghetti all over herself. What now, spaghetti monster?
Is it flying?
It might be.
Oh, okay.
Applejack promises to never leave her home alone again. And she becomes super clingy and overprotective, like that one girlfriend you used to know.
Any girlfriends?
So, this proceeds to lead to getting a pillow put on the end of a rake, getting some nets put in trees to catch apples, adding training wheels to a one-wheeled wagon, and many, many helmets, including a double helmet at one point.
Double helmet, what does it mean?
In the end, Applejack just won't let up on protecting Apple Bloom, and she calls for the CMC to give her a hand. Come help me with my overprotective, overbearing sister. They try to think up something to solve the problem and prove that Apple Bloom is ready to be home alone. Apple Bloom then comes up with her own idea to deliver the pies on her own. But what will she do when her sister comes back to check on her? Well, then the CMC are just going to stand in for they're not going to stand there. They're going to lay there, standing in for Apple Bloom.
And so stupid, it just might work.
Yeah. They'll take turns sleeping, so in case one of them gets tired, they can switch out.
Oh, wait.
Sorry, they'll take turns pretending to sleep, so in case one of them gets tired, they can switch out.
Okay. Why do they pretend to sleep? It'd be... man, if I ever had a plan where all I had to do was pretend to sleep, I'd just sleep.
Well, that might be a slight spoiler for what's coming here in about 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. Oops.
They go to start a song, and humorously, they cut it extremely short.
And thank Luna for that.
Because, well, it was starting to sound bad. I believe on purpose. I believe that they were getting along the lines of they didn't want it to sound like a good song that you missed out on. So
are all the CMC songs bad on purpose?
No.
I can think of 2 that are bad on purpose.
I see where you're going, but no.
No, actually, I can think of 2 that were bad on purpose. First season song was bad on purpose, and just now was bad on purpose.
This is true.
2 songs bad on purpose.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Did you see where I was going with that? No, you did not.
I did.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, no. You saw what I did there.
But they cut it extremely short because AJ starts to come back. Apple Bloom makes her escape out the window. Handily, there's a bunch of bales of hay right outside said window, so she doesn't fall to her death. And Sweetie Belle goes first, and Scootaloo tells her to sleep like Apple Bloom does, with sass. Because Apple Bloom is sassy, I guess.
Except not really.
Except, sassy on paper.
Oh.
So Applejack falls for it, but comes to check on her a few hundred more times, about every 5 seconds, per her own words. As time passes, Sweetie Belle actually just ends up falling asleep.
What?
And Applejack comes back in to check on her, and she starts to realize that she might be slightly overreacting, and then that's when Scoots blows their cover from the closet.
Because she's stupid.
Right.
Or all the CMC have just a bad habit of voicing everything.
Yeah. They're like little kids. Little kids don't... they literally are little kids. Little kids don't know when to not keep, things to themselves. So. And
that's the second time that's gotten them in trouble. The first time being Apple Bloom was like, I can talk to myself on the table. Ha ha!
Ha ha ha!
Oh, dang.
So Applejack freaks out. And the CMC tell her they know exactly where she is. It's all right. And they tell her that she's making the pie delivery. And she freaks out even more.
Oh, duh.
Applejack asks if she took a couple specific items, including flameproof boots, a lion tamer's chair, a snake charming flute, and a hunk of ricotta. These items may or may not be important to the quests that are coming forth. Don't lose these items. These would go in the key items inventory slots.
So what are the rewards for completing the quest?
Not dying.
I think I just pass the quest and do something else.
So Applejack decides that it might be a little bit too late to go after her, but we get the sense that she's going to try anyways because, well, she might never see her sister again.
Oh, no.
So we switch to Apple Bloom walking through a foggy swamp. Then all of a sudden, this swamp's ground starts to spout fire, and it ends up burning up her map. And so, she kind of continues on, and we're greeted by a chimera made of a tiger, a goat, and a snake that is the tail. Head of a tiger, head of a goat, and the tail is a head of a snake. Apple Bloom tries to get away by going the way she came, but it's blocked by fire. And the chimera seems to love pies and fillies. Apple Bloom does her best to get away and is doing a pretty decent job of it until she gets cornered after the pies roll over a hill. Apple Bloom then really wishes her sister was there, and her wish is granted as AJ barrels through the flames with her flameproof boots on.
Yay for the item that Apple Bloom got earlier. The armor of plot protection.
Yes. She then uses the snake charming flute to put the snake tail to sleep, and the lion tamer's chair to block the tiger's strike. And after tying the beast up with its own tail, a la Star Wars AT-AT scene, and getting the tail caught in the crook of a tree and the tiger's fangs stuck in another tree, she feeds the goat the hunk of ricotta, and the beast is defeated. AJ reasserts her need to protect Apple Bloom because of said incident. Mostly because, they lost the cart and the pies. And Apple Bloom responds by pulling the cart out of the bushes, much to Applejack's surprise. Applejack finally realized that maybe she doesn't need to be so protective of her little sister anymore. They deliver the pies together to a bunch of swamp ponies, and they are grateful. Applejack says they're ready to trust her again, even though she's probably going to be grounded for sneaking out, surprisingly by Granny Smith, who I guess is the person who does the grounding.
Ooh, right.
So that was episode the first that we were going over.
I didn't like it as much.
As much as the second episode we're going to go over?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the second episode is definitely the stronger, but is there any specific points about this one that you wanted to mention?
Even the teaser of a song from the CMC fills me with dread.
So you don't even have any comments on, Applejack's sexy fire boots?
I don't get how boots can protect against fire geysers. They only protect the feet, the bottom part. But flame goes up. They should have gotten like a fireproof everything.
But then it wouldn't look like she was wearing sexy socks.
Yeah, but still, firemen don't go in only boots. They have a full outfit.
This is true. The CMC continue to be small children,
a shock.
Which is unsurprising, but it adds some fun times to the shows from time to time. Also, this episode was pretty much devoid of anybody except for the Apple family and the Cutie Mark Crusaders. Rarity is mentioned, but never shown on screen, and none of the other main six even make an attempt to come on screen.
It's like, Apple episode, not even gonna bother.
Yep. Sweetie Belle and Scoots are there for, a grand total of 5 minutes in a 22-minute episode, and yeah, sweet. So I guess if there's nothing else to mention there, we'll move on to the next episode, Maud Pie. And then there's Maud. So... Pie. So we open on Sugar Cube Corner, with all the girls worried about not seeing Pinkie Pie since the day before, which is weird because it's early morning. Before sunrise, even. Twilight hopes that everything's okay, and Pinkie Pie opens the door and is glad to see all of her friends, and tells them to come inside.
There's no time, come inside.
Come inside.
No time.
No time. So we find out that Pinkie's sister Maud will be there soon, and that she needs help testing some rock candy episodes. There's rock
candy episodes?
Rock candy recipes. I don't know why I said episodes. I did. So, rock candy recipes
Mm-hmm.
in the episode. Here we go. There seems to be a lot of candy, like a shit ton of candy. She made a lot of candy.
Too much candy on the dance floor.
Yeah. So then we have our opening, and after that, we switch back to the main six, and they're all in pain from all the candy. And we find out that Maud is coming to the station, like, real soon. Like, her train's going to be here any minute now. And Pinky is afraid that they won't have picked out the perfect candy for her. And it ends up that she was making candy for everyone. But no one is too thrilled with eating more candy. It's part of a super secret tradition, making rock candy necklaces. It all started back on the rock farm. Maud taught her the recipe with the secret ingredient.
Is it rocks?
It's rocks!
What?
They made necklaces out of the rock candy and traded them as a sign that they're best friends. Rainbow Dash is concerned with the secret ingredient, but it turns out it's a special kind of rock that Pinky can't talk about, hence the secret part of it.
It's a secret.
Maud is ending up getting she's gonna get something in rock science. I forget what it was called, and I wrote it down wrong. It was a rock pun.
Mm-hmm.
And Pinky is afraid that she won't be able to trade rock candy necklaces with her for a long time. She's sure that her friends and Maud will all become great friends, and because Maud is awesome, and she has, according to Pinky, all the same traits as the rest of her friends. Pinky rushes off to the station while the main six set up a picnic outside. Rarity can't find anything to wear that has rocks in it, and can't keep her hat together, and a rock falls off of it into a basket of apples. This will be important later.
Ah.
And after that, Pinky and Maud show up. Maud is much slower than Pinky by a lot. Pretty much a slow mover, this one is. She then ends up seeing a rock on the path and explains it in a very monotone voice that it's sedimentary. Twilight then introduces the gang. Maud is pretty much unimpressed. She's pretty much just,
Mm-hmm.
she's Maud.
Pie?
Maud Pie.
Mm-hmm.
She's also so Rarity is introduced on the grounds that Maud was into fashion, and she's pretty much into expressing herself through her wardrobe. Rarity asks her, what this wardrobe is saying, and Maud replies that it doesn't talk. It's a dress. Thanks, Maud. We appreciate the honesty.
Mm-hmm.
Rarity
is so honest.
Rarity is pretty flustered by this comment, so Applejack takes the opportunity to introduce the pets and asks to meet Maud's because supposedly she has a pet too. Turns out he's in her pocket, and it's a rock. His name is Boulder. The rest of the main six are very confused, but they sit down to eat anyways. Applejack offers Maud a muffin. Sorry, it wasn't an apple basket. It was a muffin basket. See how the details are important?
Yep, it's all coming together.
Yep. So
When's the Illuminati coming?
So Maud takes a muffin, but it turns out it was one of the rocks that fell off of Rarity's hat earlier. And she enjoys it. Says it's very crunchy. Maud and Boulder sometimes play a game called Camouflage. She says that it's like hide and seek, but way more intense. So they all start to play it, and having a hard time finding Boulder in a pile of rocks because, well, he's a rock.
And he's camouflaged.
He is camouflaged.
Hence the name Camouflage.
Yep.
This game is so intense.
Nobody's having fun except for Pinkie Pie, but Twilight encourages them to keep trying. Give it a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out Maud was cheating the whole time, and Boulder was hiding in her pocket all along.
What? It camouflaged right into her pocket. So intense.
Yeah. Also turns out that the pets are pretty tired and bored looking. And Maud and Pinky have to get home, so they all part ways. Needless to say, she's different than what Pinky is described. they're thinking that maybe she was kind of shy because they were, she was overwhelmed. All main six of them standing around.
6 of them.
All main six of them standing around. And they think that it might be best to spend some one-on-one time with her. So after we come back from the break, it's Rarity's turn first.
We're getting a break?
Oh, no. I meant a break as in a commercial in the show.
Oh. I was going to say, man, if we get breaks.
No breaks here.
Dang it.
There are no breaks on the pony train.
Is there any union I can join?
No podcasting unions.
I'm going to start a union.
I think that's a bad idea.
Why? You want to join my union?
No, I'm a scab.
Fine, it's a union of just me.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. So Maud picks up a scrap of fabric off the floor and says that she really likes it. It turns out it's a dish rag.
Mm-hmm.
Rarity then offers to make her something from the dish rags that she has from around the house, but Maud says she only likes the one and throws it over her back like a sash. And we move on to Fluttershy. They're out in the forest looking at creatures. Well, that's what Fluttershy's doing. Maud comes across a spider on a rock, and Fluttershy gives her the background. How they're mean looking, but they're really nice at heart. Turns out Maud was just looking at the rock that it was standing on. Fluttershy is dumbfounded how anybody could not love that cute little spider.
The rock is so much more interesting.
Yeah. She also wonders that maybe the one-on-one time isn't working.
Mm-hmm.
Now on to Twilight. And it turns out that Maud loves poetry. And Twilight asks her some, like what her favorite authors are, what type of poetry she likes.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out that Maud likes her own poetry. And then
and
then the best poem happens. I did not record the entirety of the poem, but it's pretty cool.
TLDR, Vogon poetry.
TLDR, Vogon poetry about rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out she's written thousands. They're all about rocks.
I mean, from what we've heard, I don't think it's very hard to write thousands of those.
No.
Rocks are gray, like a rock. This is a poem about rocks. Rocks are hard and gray, like rocks.
Like rocks.
Sometimes you can touch rocks. Rocks have the name rocks.
So we head over to Applejack's, and they're doing some cider malt cooking. And it's Maud's job to peel some apples. Turns out she's just smashing them with, you guessed it, rocks.
Rocks can be used to smash apples, because apples are not rocks.
So, and this is much to Applejack's horror, because, she loves them apples.
Mm-hmm.
They taste the cider as it is, and Pinkie Pie remarks that it's the best cider ever, and Maud remarks that it tastes like apples.
Yep. Which would be honest, because it tastes just like apples.
We can't say that she's a liar. She's been pretty much spot on about everything she said so far.
I think Maud should be a permanent cast member.
Who should she replace?
All of them. Just have 6 mods running around.
Nice.
Yes.
So then we head over to Rainbow Dash for some good old-fashioned rock tossing. It turns out Maud can throw rocks far farther than Rainbow Dash. Way farther. But she's not into actually winning anything, so this comes to a shock to Rainbow Dash. She does not understand the concept of not winning something.
Or not liking to win something.
Yeah. So everybody comes to the realization that and lets Pinkie know that maybe they aren't as good of friends with Maud as Pinkie wants them to be.
Mm-hmm. Pinkie
gets pretty sad about it. Not full sad. Her hair doesn't go full flat, but she gets pretty deflated about it.
Right.
Everyone feels kind of awful, and Fluttershy brings up a point that maybe they should have just pretended to like Maud, but that Twilight points out that probably would have been a worse choice to make. It's hard to hurt somebody's feelings now, especially about like a sibling or a friend, but in the long run, it's probably better to just let them know. which is a good lesson in its own, but not necessarily the overall lesson of this episode.
Right.
Rainbow Dash notes that she's a riddle wrapped in a mystery, wrapped in an
Enigma.
not an enigma, an igneous. Rarity does try to correct her and say an enigma, but she says no, an ignis, because it's a kind of rock. Get it? So Pinkie Pie ends up having a plan to try to pull everyone together. She's built, and I quote, Pinkie Rainbow Raritwi Apple Flutter Mod Fun Time.
Yep.
It combines everybody's interests into one big obstacle course. And it's totally going to bring them all together. And she has very nice costumes for them all, including helmets and protectors and stuff like that. She also feels like she must demonstrate. It has everything, including a rock slide. First you climb, then you slide down rocks. Ugh.
This is after going through apple cider.
Apple cider and fabrics for Rarity, and I forget what Fluttershy's was.
I don't think Fluttershy had one.
Oh, then something for Twy, and then books, yeah, and then
Fluttershy's was the animal poker game.
Oh yeah, and then books, and then the whole thing. There was candy for Pinkie Pie, or was it something else? Can't remember. Mm-hmm. And then the whole thing is a timed event, so that's Rainbow Dash's thing. So as Pinkie Pie demonstrates, she goes to the rock slide and gets stuck, and the rock pile starts to come down on her. Maud runs the whole course in record time, way faster than Pinkie Pie did, and knocks the crap out of the falling rock to save Pinkie. She literally beats it into lots of tinier rocks. Maud understands it's important to Pinkie that they're all friends, but realizes that it's probably not going to happen, and just like everybody else did.
Right.
She then thinks that it might just be best to head home instead of sticking around Ponyville for the week that she was supposed to be there. The rest of the main six start to realize that Maud may be a little bit eccentric, but she's still an awesome pony. On the train, by the way, Pinkie says that she's going to come with her back to the rock farm.
And then they get on a train.
Yep. On the train, Pinkie apologizes for trying to force them to be best friends, and all of a sudden, we flash forward, they're coming home to the rock farm, and the rest of the main six are there with rock candy. How they got ahead of the train, we'll never know.
Well, magic.
Well, yeah, magic and flight, but, you know.
No, I think when one of them is a princess, they can go places.
Yeah. And it turns out that they do have something in common, and that's that they all really want to see Pinkie Pie safe and happy, and that's plenty in common to share a tradition with. Pinkie has never seen Maud more excited in her entire life, even though her expression hasn't changed. They all give her necklaces that they made, and as she's going to get on the train to go to the Rock University, Pinkie Pie gives her her necklace. Oh, actually, they're leaving to go back to Ponyville. Sorry, other way around. Maud grabs a box out of her bag and puts Pinkie Pie's candy necklace into it and tells Twilight that she really doesn't like candy, but she really loves her sister. So she takes them anyways, as a reminder. And so ends what I think is one of the cuter episodes for the whole season. I thought it was really good. So, what did you think of Maud Pie?
Maud, best character, need to replace every character.
Need to replace every character. Maud
Except
is
for
best.
Cadence. Yep.
Yep. The Maud and Cadence show.
Definitely would watch 10 times.
10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
They could do it 9 times.
Sweet.
Yes. What do you think of the Maud show?
I really enjoyed the Maud Pie character. I know it's kind of a simple joke, the monotone, pretty much exact opposite of Pinkie.
Right.
But it's fun. I like it. It's apparent that even though she isn't excitable like Pinkie, she still was able to get out from underneath the she does have some, she's not against fun. She just is very not expressive. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
So, whereas I would have figured that maybe they would have gone for the she hates fun route. So, she doesn't hate fun. She just has her own kind of fun. Fun. But other than that, I thought it was a really cute episode. I thought it was really good, and I hope to see Mod Pie again.
Me too.
Best supporting character.
Financial.
Best supporting character 2014.
What?
All right. So I think that brings us to some news.
New news?
New news.
New news on the new Lunar Radio?
New Lunar Radio news.
That's new.
That's new. So we have a couple episode synopsises for some more season 4 episodes. The first one is for episode 22, airing April 5th. It's called Testing 1 2 3. Rainbow Dash uses unconventional methods to prepare for her test to become a member of the Wonderbolt's reserves, even though she's been through the academy already, but
right.
Whatever. And then also this one was mislabeled, I believe. It says episode 19, but it's supposed to air on April 19th, so I'm thinking that it's actually episode 23, not episode 19, and that we're going to be skipping an episode on April 12th. There won't be an episode on April 12th.
Why won't there be an episode on April 12th?
That's just what the internet's saying right now.
The internet says things?
Sure. Talks to me into my sleep.
Teach me how to...
No.
Speak internet?
I refuse.
Right. Yeah, looks like...
Because the episode that's coming up this weekend is supposed to be episode 19. But
and that's for whom the Sweetie Belle told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think this is just a typo. But we still have the synopsis.
It would be episode 22.
But the last one I just went over was episode 22.
What?
Yeah.
Wikipedia says it's episode 21.
There's 2 episodes left. Episode 19... these are all messed up.
Yeah.
Because, then maybe the testing 1 2 3 is the April 12th one, and people are just getting screwed up because there's a Flim Flam episode that's supposed to be happening here at the end of March. That
Leap
should
of
be
Faith? Episode 20.
Yeah.
Episode 20, March 29th, and then episode 21 is testing.
Yeah. Okay.
On
So.
April 5th.
Okay. So. Yeah. I will retract and say that testing is not episode 21. It is episode 22. It is episode 21. You got me all confused, man.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, episode 22. Trade Ya. When the trip to Rainbow's Falls Trader Exchange doesn't go as planned, the girls learn just how valuable their friendship really is.
What's a Trader's Exchange?
I don't know. But it's in Rainbow Falls.
Where do the rainbows fall? On pots of gold. Come on.
Oh, man.
Come on, Jay. Yes, yesterday was St. Patty's Day. You should know this.
So, the other piece of news is that there's a new Brony documentary debuting at the Tribeca Film Festival.
It's done by the same people?
No.
Oh. Is this one going to be any worse somehow?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
One, it was not kickstarted. It was done like a real documentary is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it is told from the perspective of Ashiel Ball, the voice actor for Rainbow Dash and Applejack, as she discovers the Brony community. And they are doing interviews with people like Saberspark, Dusty Cat, Silverhound, Foe, and a lot of other Bronies. And it's called A Brony Tale. It's a self-funded documentary from director Brent Hodge. He's the director of something called The Cockumentary.
The what?
The Cockumentary.
Is that a bad joke?
I don't know. It's a documentary about chickens. Or no, cockfighting.
Oh. I was going to say, this is a family-friendly show.
So, that looks like it'll be interesting. Hopefully, slightly better than the last one, but... And then we're on to a little bit of, well, I don't know what you would want to call this, but it's interesting to say the least. So I guess there was a 9-year-old boy in school. He likes ponies. He had a bag, like a backpack thing, lunch bag, whatever. And it had Rainbow Dash on it. He took it to school. He was bullied. And then the school turned around and said, you're not allowed to bring that bag to school anymore because you're getting bullied.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So the internet, started to find out about this, and, it was doing its internet, people were like, man, that sucks. That's stupid. The school's wrong. Got picked up by a local news affiliate, that kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, Glenn Beck joins in. Glenn Beck on his, he doesn't work for Fox anymore. He has his own private show now.
Mm-hmm.
He has rallied to the cause of, believe it or not, picking this up as a story of asserting your individuality and being yourself no matter who says anything. To not run with the herd, which honestly has been most of his mentality before,
Right.
which is pretty much why Fox News said, get the hell off of our channel because we
hate people.
Because we want people to be part of our herd. So, not that I particularly enjoy or listen to his show or anything like this. This obviously was just pointed out because of the Pony connection. But the kid's name is Grayson, and he started a trend. He got them trending. He got My Little Pony trending on Facebook and on Twitter with the hashtag of support Grayson, I think it was. And he talked about it on his show, and then there was a little follow-up. Oh, it's Stand with Grayson, by the way. Sorry.
Oh.
And then
So hashtag Stand with Grayson.
Yeah, hashtag Stand with Grayson. And it's trending at the top of Facebook still. And there was a follow-up, showing about how in their little morning meeting before their show, they talked about how it's really strange that in this country, if he had come out and said, well, I'm gay and I like My Little Pony, then, all the gays rights active, like half the country would be up in arms about it. If he was a girl and came to school with, some sort of boys thing and they were bullied about it, they'd have there'd be an army of feminists and everything up in arms about it. The problem is that he has no reactionary group that he fits in with to take up his cause. So Glenn Beck thought that he would do that. He thought that he would take up his cause. They mentioned that, his staff knows about bronies and the brony phenomenon. None of them seemed too disgusted about it. All of them seem to be like, they're all like, it seems pretty harmless to me. So, more power to you, Glenn Beck. I don't necessarily listen to your show, but I would say that I personally stand with Grayson. Way to go, buddy. Keep doing your thing. What about you, Darkle?
So did anyone send him more backpacks to wear?
I don't know. I do not know.
I wouldn't be surprised if he had a collection of backpacks now.
Collection of backpacks. So yeah, ponies are now in the media again. Thanks, Glenn Beck. We'll see what comes of it. But that's it for news, unless you have any other, non-con news to discuss. See anything?
No.
So, we do have a little bit of con news. And guess what?
What?
Is BabsCon.
BabsCon?
BabsCon.
BabsCon?
We're literally a month away from BabsCon.
Are you going?
I'm not going. Still not going.
Why not?
Because it's all the way in San Francisco. I don't have enough time or money to make it out there, man.
Just go.
I can't even. So they've announced some more guests, some more of the IDW Comics crew. And first up we have Heather Breckel. She's she did all the coloring for the Queen Chrysalis and Nightmare Rarity arcs in the comic. She also colored the Rarity and Luna micro-series comics, as well as the 2013 MLP Equestria Girls annual issue, and is also friends with me on Twitter. So,
Oh, I see. That's newsworthy right there.
yeah, Heather's cool. If there's no other reason for you to go to BabsCon, you should go. Go and buy a comic. You can buy it at BabsCon. I'm sure they'll be on sale there. Take them over. Make sure it's one that she's done the colors for. Like I said, Queen Chrysalis and Nightmare Rarity arcs, the first.
So pretty much if it has Luna Rarity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it over to her, walk right past all the other people, and be like, you get to sign this first. And then you can get it signed by Andy Price and, all that stuff. But So the next person that they invited is Tony Fleece. He's done several comics for covers for the MLP comics. He also did he's credited with drawing for the Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash micro series comic and issue number 2 of Friends Forever. Then there's Heather Newfer. She's a Warren nominated writer, and she wrote some of the arcs like the Nightmare Rarity arcs, the Pirate Ponies, and the Bookworm arc. And yeah, they're all going to be at BabsCon with Andy Price. So go check them out. And yeah. And then next but not least, there was a Twitter Twitter contest for BabsCon entry. Unfortunately, by the time this airs, it's already over. So,
Dang.
And we also got a schedule of panels and events.
Ooh.
It's on their website. That's actually in a Google Doc spreadsheet. It's looking pretty crazy. Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. 3 whole days of stuff. So get your tickets while they're hot. And they're also looking for some volunteers. So if you're looking to go and maybe would rather volunteer, my advice, honestly, is if you've never volunteered at a con before, if it's your first con, do not volunteer. Just go to the con and have fun. If you volunteered at a con before, go ahead and check it out. If you volunteered at some large event before, you might want to check it out. If you're a parent of a child that feels that they're safe to be on their own in the convention proper, but not necessarily travel to the city, it would be nice if you were to volunteer while they were roaming the con yourself. So, or roaming the con themselves, and you needed something to do all day in a way that would still help them and keep you involved with your child and their hobby. So, yeah.
Yep.
But that's it for con news right now. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. So, yeah, that's it. Unless you have anything else to add, Darkle.
Nope, I think that's it.
All right. That was a pretty great double episode. So I think that's going to do it for this week. We'll talk to everyone next week with another new episode of Ponies.
Okay.
Ponies.
Ponies.
All right, everybody. Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.